So I want you to think about your classroom, and I want you to ask yourself this question. And you don't have to answer it out loud because no one's going to love this question. I'm going to brace you. You're not going to love this question. Is your classroom about what you taught or about what students learned? I want you to think about that for a minute. Is your classroom about what you taught or what students learned? Do you know how I know the difference when I start speaking to a teacher? I coach a lot of teachers and blessed to sit down and work with incredible educators across the United States. And when I say, tell me how you think that lesson went. And they'll say things like, well, I covered, I taught, I said, I did, I measured, I looked at, I told my students. Okay, I want you to pay attention. What's the commonality you just heard in every single sentence I just said? What'd you hear? Right, I. I've even heard when I look at sometimes assessments with teachers and students aren't doing as well on the assessment. And I'll ask the teacher, why do you think that happened? And they will say, I don't know, I covered it. So I want right now to give you all the proverbial cookie for having covered a lesson. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Good for you. 2 thumbs up. You get a cookie. And now let me shift you to reality. Nobody cares. If the students didn't learn it, it's irrelevant. It's truly irrelevant. And we have created an education system that exists because of teachers who are proud of what they taught, and we just move kids through to the next grade level. Because at the end of the day, the students didn't learn it. When I had my sophomore English students walking in my classroom reading at a 5th grade level, that isn't because of what someone taught. That's because they never learned, and nobody cared enough to measure it. So how do you know the difference? Right? Because that's the $97 question. I don't think that any teacher walks into a classroom and says, I really hope my students don't achieve today. I really do. Like, I hope that I'm that one that she's talking about that passed that student all along and they're reading at the 5th grade level. I believe that. So let me give you a couple of strategies that I think can make a difference. First and foremost is you have to measure your teaching. You have to measure your teaching. When you teach a lesson, you have to assess what you taught. That's the tool. Not whether you taught it. And then the second piece to that is what do you do when they don't? What happens when you get that data back and that great lesson that you did? Matter of fact, you impressed yourself. Come on. You even went home tonight and you thought, that was a really good lesson. Like, I kind of impressed myself. And then you look at the data and they didn't get it. They didn't get it. The real question then is, what are you going to do about it? Because you probably did give a phenomenal lesson. I'll bet it was one of your best. It just didn't land. Ask any actor or actress that has put a movie out there that bombed, that none of us went to see. Do you think Hollywood said, I'm going to pay them millions of dollars for a movie that no one wants to watch, but sometimes it just didn't land? Ask music artists who have ever put out a video or a song, and it just wasn't a hit. It didn't land. They don't reproduce that song and say, maybe you didn't hear it, let me turn it up louder, which is what we do as teachers. Let me scream that lesson to you because then you'll get it. What they do is say, that didn't land. That didn't land. I'm not going to do that again. My team watches the data of these videos. And we are constantly watching, not because I care so much about your likes, views, and things. I want to know what's landing. I want to know where I'm helping you and where I'm not. That's where we've got to get in education. We have to start looking at less of what we taught and more of what students learned. And the first way you do that is by gathering data. And then the second piece of that is analyzing the data. Once you know that they didn't understand that question, why did they not understand it? And what am I going to do to differentiate it? So my summation to this is this. It's hard in a world where we have so much curriculum that is put upon us to teach students. I get it. Walked your walk, talked your talk, been there, done that. But if my job is to put everybody in a boat and get them to the other side of the shore safely to their loved family members that are over there waiting, no one cares why I started losing them halfway through. So those kids that you're losing halfway through are someone's son or daughter. So we have to start really looking at what is it that we have to teach and how are we going to see to it that it's taught. Thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know where I can help you. Don't forget to like and follow and share, and have a fantastic day.